All right, so yeah, finally, welcome. It's short after 1 in England now, so we are right in time. Good, so we'll have the challenge pitches now. Let's just switch to the next slide. Okay, so here are the challenge pitches. So this is the presenter. I will connect it to Erkin's laptop, and if you want to click forward, you can do it with this thing. So here's a huge button for forward, and there is a smaller one for backward. It does not have a laser pointer, so you can only click. Okay, the order of the challenges you know already, so we'll just stay in the order, and our host for the challenges is Lars, and I immediately hand over to you.
Yes, welcome from my side, one last time at least. We are very much looking forward to all of your challenges, and last night we told you what's relevant, and now we will see what came out of these 2 days that you had to work on these really cool projects that there were. So we'll just stick with the order. So if you are C1, you will be the first ones, and if you are C5, you will be the fourth ones, because C3 does not exist or did not happen. All right, so, and without further ado, I would just ask Julius Bünger and Ahmed Amin Shafiq onto the stage to present their project, which was hardware, software related reverse engineering. And let's see what they did.
Start the counter for yourself. Very good.
It's another minute.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it runs 6 or so.
I just started when the clock starts. Okay. So hello everyone. Hello everyone. Today I'm going to present, along with my colleague Julius, what we have done in the project hardware software mashup with reverse engineering. So actually the pointer doesn't work.
Yes,
Just click it. Okay. So actually, we were trying. The main idea of our project is to try to get into hardware and know what is the logic behind its functioning, namely communication, software, and the other behaviors. So we were handed like 2 different type of device. A first one, which is a home hub. So the home hub is used to interface with all devices that use IR technology. So the idea here is to have to use your smartphone, your laptop, to power up your old TV and your old stereo, etc. that works on IR. The second one. So we didn't have the picture of it. It's a Bluetooth device that actually have a microphone and reacts to the movement, to the sounds made by the external noise, and can be also controlled through a smartphone. So as we say, the idea here is to know more about the protocol communication of these 2 kind of device, namely Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and RF, and to figure out to gain access to this device to explore the full advantage of the device itself.
So, do you hear me? Okay, that sounds better. So the underlying challenges were to interface with the devices, because that uses an IR control. We had the remote control, and we could pick up the signals. Sorry. Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah, that time. I'm taking it already.
Okay. So obviously Julius was more into the tech itself, so which allowed me to explore more about the presentation, about what I'm going to do. So basically, like if you compare the evolution of device, you will see that this device still deliver the same option. Like the TV still render images and everything. The problem is that lately now we have too many e-waste with the device that deliver the same quality of service. So in order to recycle things, we can just use the hub. And the problem is the current hub does not have the advanced option to set up scenarios, scripts, like what makers do. So they just have like a UI that resembles the remote control. So the main idea here is to recycle devices that offer the same quality of service and adapt them to the current technology that we have. And also like the problem, like the challenge here is, as we said, is to gain access to their technology and to see what we are going to do with this thing.
Yeah. Okay. So what methods we were using is we were looking into flashing different firmwares, or trying to. We had this infrared controller which could pick up the signals of the remote control, so we were looking at that. But we had to use it in that way, so we had to flash a new firmware. First, we tried to flash it via Wi-Fi, which we managed to break the device with. So we had to go down to the soldering level with the hardware. This is the thing right at the bottom. So we flashed it successfully a second time, this time now into an operable state. That was nice. We analyzed the infrared communication. We had also a look at the second device, this sound bar flashing LEDs. And we tried to identify how the communication worked there. We checked it with the Android device, which was nice, but it was a bit too complicated for now. So we present mostly the results with the IR. We had a lot of trials and some errors, some success. And yes, also, of course, we needed to identify for the different hardwares, we needed to identify what hardware is there, what chips are there, to know how they function. Also, me? Okay, so we tried to split up the work. It's hard to define how, in terms how we defined it, but you can roughly say we did it more in a hardware-software level, and there were different tasks involved. As it was reverse engineering, it wasn't straightforward to put milestones there to see from the beginning what would be the challenges. But you can roughly say that it was first about understanding the device, the communication. Most importantly, I think most of the work went into setting up the toolchain. So getting this IR device to do what it was supposed to do. And on the other hand, with the Bluetooth thing, try to interact with, to get a connection to the device itself. So we tried different libraries for interacting, for controlling Bluetooth devices. All of them succeeded to some extent. I wouldn't say I'm able to control Bluetooth devices programmatically now. So, but I learned something in that direction. So maybe the time was just not enough. And yeah, of course, we had a lot of testing and validation, which the ones who were already there just before the talk, I think you noticed some of that. So, yes.
So as you can see, sadly, due to time limits, we were more into getting the device to be hacked, and so we didn't have time to take more pictures. But as you can see, in the first picture, it's the tear down of the controlling board of the hub of the IR hub, and like surprisingly it was running on a Wi-Fi chip. It's an ESP82666, which we know how to deal with. So we try to look into the documentation to see how we can get into the device. We succeeded to do it first wirelessly. It was a problem with the version of the software. Then, as you can see, we soldered cables to gain access to force like flashing through serial connection. And finally, we succeed to do it. So in the second picture, you see the sound bar along with the timer and the Raspberry Pi, and I will show you why we used the Raspberry Pi. So actually, like the device works on its own. We have like the timer who is controlled through IR remotes. We have the chip who is trying to convert like comments that are received from the Raspberry Pi and then transform them to IR codes. And the Raspberry Pi can be accessed through SSH. So the main idea, which we didn't have time to, is to develop a UI in the Raspberry Pi. So it will be a standalone object that we can set timer, we can set countdown, we can change time, etc. And then, as you can see, we hopefully succeed to flash it using a browser flasher. There is another slide. Okay.
Okay. We are running out of time, kind of. So, what the achieved results were, I think we already covered a bit of that. So we managed to have this device which now controls the time, and we basically copied all of the functionalities of the infrared remote control and have it now available as a library kind of thing. So currently it's a simple Python file which does what it's supposed to do.
Okay, so the purpose of the of what we have done is to generally target the maker community. So we provide, we have developed a codemd file, which have like first early version of all the steps that should be done to have the same access that to walk the community through what we have done. And it's precisely for presentation, as you can see now, as we have exceeded our time limit. So I hope that you enjoyed our presentation, and we are really happy to show you a demonstration. And then if you have some questions, we're really happy to answer.
Awesome.
I actually think we're still in time.
Awesome presentation. So great work there. I have a question to you. So what do you think was, well, the major difficulty throughout the last 2 days? So which task stopped you the most?
If you have a good answer, I'm thinking about it.
I think mostly the hardware. So like the clock sometimes behave strangely. So it's a cheap clock. So it's sometimes the sensor does not synchronize with what we are sending. So it sometimes bugs, but like 90% it works. And also the thing is it's like quite challenging to flash it wirelessly. And yeah, I think that's it.
I think I want to add to that now that we have this time limitation in double sense. Like, we could have probably achieved more with more time.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So give it up one more time for this challenge number 1. While we're doing it, I would like to ask the next team to come up. It's going to be C2, Chicken. And while
They want to make a demo.
Oh, sorry. Before that, apparently we have a demo.
Okay.
Sorry.
I tried to. And now I do. I will see it first and then present, so you don't need to look at there. Are you sharing your screen? I think so, yeah. Okay, this is what I see. I can stop it again.
In the meanwhile, I would like to thank our jury that is also here, grading all of your presentations and submissions. So we have very high caliber people here. We have
okay.
Nicolas. And we have Laurent and Fabian as well in the front here. And you are not grading Marc-Oliver Pahl. Yeah, and Marvin, sorry, yeah, Marvin as well. So they're all here listening to your presentations, and I guess we are now ready to see the clock in act.
Yes. So as you can see now, like we are going to turn the clock off.
Yeah, I try to. This is one of the problems we discovered. We don't know how to turn off the alarm yet because the clock is. So now we turned it off because I was able to because the alarm was off. Please go on. You were wanting to say something and.
No, it's okay.
Okay, so I turned it off. I tried to turn it on. It's also the infrared that is sometimes not that reliable, so it worked now. We have all of the functionalities of the, why the alarm? We have all of the functionalities that are on the remote control, as you see with the autocomplete. And we have also the opportunity to do something like automation. Like for the set time, you need to use different buttons in succession. So set timer does exactly what you saw before. So it's sending one key, sending another key, and so on. So in the end, the timer is set. So this is great because you don't have to press the remote control every key, and you can also automate like whatever you want. You can change the time, you can change whatever. So this is great, I think.
Awesome. I'm sure we're gonna use it. I'm very sure we're gonna use that at least in the next PhD school. All right, so now we are done with the first challenge. Thank you very much. Good job. And we will continue with chicken or chicken. So C2, about building automation. So BACnet over BACnet using LoRaWAN. And yes, please come to the stage and I'll hand over a microphone.
Yeah, thank you. We are the chicken, at least the ones that's still here. So yeah, I'm gonna try to go through this. We have something to change the slides.
on the application.
Oh, no.
It was not.
So what we want to do is to use the new technology LoRaWAN to transport information. And what's very good with LoRaWAN is that it's very energy efficient, so you can run it for a long time with little energy consumption on small devices, and for much longer distances than a lot of other protocols. And what we want to use this for is to transport a protocol called BACnet, which is used to monitor buildings, larger buildings, temperature, humidity, etc., which makes it very suitable to use on LoRaWAN. The problem with LoRaWAN is that you can't send very much bandwidth, so we need to compress this in some way, and this is where Chicken comes in. So Chicken uses static values on headers and uses rules instead. So instead of sending always 3 bytes with the same value, we identify that this is a specific rule, and we can just send 1 bit to identify that specific rule, and in that way send a lot of less information without losing any data. What we have seen as a challenge here is that BACnet is a proprietary protocol, so we need to use a simulator to reverse engineer the protocol, and we have needed to understand both the BACnet protocol and the IPv4 protocol to be able to achieve this. So, as I said, BACnet is proprietary, and we didn't really understand how to communicate with the simulator at first. That was challenges we had to find out. And the end goal here is to be able to parse both an IPv4 layer and a BACnet layer, and using Chicken to compress this to be able to send it on LoRaWAN in an effective way. So just a small list of things that was supposed to be on this slide, but we didn't have time to do that. So in general, what we wanted to do was to be able to parse IPv4. There was only support for IPv6. We needed to understand and parse the BACnet protocol, and then we wanted to be able to create rules for BACnet and IPv4 to be able to compress it, and in the later stage send it to over a LoRaWAN, and in some way create a big success.
Okay, so basically, what would they achieve results? First of all, we used the BACnet simulator to get all the packets from the BACnet simulator. So we need to extract the traces, save them in a pickup file with Wireshark, and then we need to reverse engineer the BACnet protocol to see what happens with that. And so we built like this setup between 2 laptops. In one laptop we run the simulator, in the other we connect the one that get the traces, and with Wireshark we are able to get all the packets from this simulator. So we did these setups. It was really challenging for us because the simulator doesn't have much information about it. So to connect between 2 computers in the same net, it was a bit challenging to take us like half day to do it, but we were able to do it. And once that we were able to do it, we have with Wireshark these packets. So in this way we can save this data, save in a pickup file, then and we need to look for all of the headers for BACnet and IPv4, and then do it with the process of compression with Chicken. And then we need to read this pickup file. So we need first to see all the layers. So we have Ethernet, IPv4 in the first image, and then we see all the headers for IPv4 that we have the version, the identification, some time to live, some these kind of headers for IPv4, and then for the backnet protocol, so we have some types or the length, the version, the control, and we have different layers for backnet too. We have the built-in automation control network APDU, so we need to do this stuff. And finally is that we have some code in Python that we with Scapy is a library that allows to read the pickup file with the Wireshark trace packets. So finally, what we did was to reverse. For IPv4 was really easy, but it was take a long time to review all the headers. And then we need to put all the headers inside the chick file, and because nowadays chick is only available for IPv6, so in this case other rules are built for IPv6. In this case we are able to build one rule for IPv4. The next step after review all the IPv4 headers, put it in the parser. We need to we create the rule for IPv4 obviously, and then we have some when we are building the rule for the compression, we said we are not going to send this, we are going to compute this, or we are going to ignore that. And in our case, to build the IPv4 rule with UDP, we were not able, we don't have too much time to build all the code for all the rules, so we only did it for IPv4. For backnet, we are able to do it and just to build the headers and get it in the code, but not to build all the rules for the compression. So if we see, I want to come back. If we see right here, we only have the IPv4, but when we do the compression, we get some results. Obviously, for some packets we have like 51%, for some others 30% of compression. So this was really good to send through LoRa. And then if we could have better results if we go further with the backnet headers, right? So as I told you, for the backnet headers, we were able to get some of them with the packet from the pickup file, but we will have time to do it, to build all the rule for the chick library. So basically the impact and the outlook is that we can have backnet that is over IPv4 right now, sending to LoRa network and use this. So yeah, basically is that. Thank you.
Great presentation. In particular, you stayed within the time limit. Very well done. Thank you, Marcus and Sebastian, for this great presentation. I guess are there any questions from the audience? I guess doesn't look like it. Then I have a question. How difficult or how suitable do you think it is so now this one part was replaced with a simulator? How easy is it to connect your stuff now to like a real system?
Nowadays, I think if we can take the data from the internet, with just some file that it would be reading the data from the device, it will be really easy to connect from the code because it's just passed through the data. So with the pickup files, we are just simulating the real environment. The simulator just takes some data through the internet. So actually, the next step also is maybe not reading through a file, is just take the real data, go through.
All right, yeah, thank you, very interesting. Then one more time, thank you to the challenge presenters. I would like to ask the next challenge that will be a little special presentation because one of the students, so Leila and Alice, worked together, but Leila was actually working remote, so she's one of the remote participants. In the meanwhile, I will ask the jury to just conclude their grading of the previous challenge, and then Erkin will share the sound. So Leila will actually join us via Zoom for the presentation. We will have her sound on stage. And then Alice, I would like you to ask to come on stage for your presentation.
I think yes, but she's not connected. So. She sent me an email to say that she can't connect, but I sent her my phone number to speak with her to explain.
So you have her on the phone?
Sorry?
You have her on the phone?
Not yet.
Okay, but because if you say you need some more minutes, we can also just exchange the audio.
Yeah, I think it's better. And next, yeah.
Okay, then we have a short shift in schedule. We will switch the.
And for the jury, that just means that you can click next probably, and then afterwards back, and then you get back to the form for this.
Unfortunately, you cannot, as all the inputs are required. So I
Oh,
guess,
okay.
but so we will just keep.
But then let's just continue, and we just note down that
Yes,
that
we'll
there where it's written C4, it's now C5.
take a
and,
note.
yeah.
So the next ones are Alexis Duhamel, Dairo, and Deruk, and Victor Goman for the open source vehicle. A more security related challenge, and let's see what they found out for their challenge. So the next 5 minutes are, no, not even 5, 9 minutes.
It's a PowerPoint presentation, isn't a PDF, right? It's PowerPoint. Yeah, it's good, yeah.
So the next 9 minutes are yours, so please take it away.
Hello, I'm Victor, this is Dairo, and that's Alexis, and we are going to present our open source vehicle hacking. So, next. All right. So we're going to start with the context and the state of the art. So for context, we are working with the open source vehicle that is developed here. Since it's open source, it means it will get attacked more easily. Attackers can know everything about their target, so this means that the system must be secure by design, so it's more dangerous than a closed source system. We are going to attack via the infotainment system, and this is already done. This is needed for autonomous cars, and it is an attack pretty known. For example, the T-bone attack attacked also via the infotainment system on Tesla cars. Normally, the cars aren't connected to the outside world, so that makes them safe since they're isolated, but with IoT, they are connected to the outside world, which makes it possible to attack. So we are going to start with the underlying challenges and the key objectives. So we are going to start with explaining the architecture of the network that we had to hack. So we had only one access point, that's over here. It's the infotainment Raspberry Pi. It is connected over the Wi-Fi, so this was where we could get in. The Raspberry Pi was connected via a serial cable, via a serial connection with the screen interface. But as you see, the screen interface is red, and so is the LiDAR. This means that this is not fully developed and working, so we had some problems here, so we could not get on the CAN2 network. On the CAN2 network, there is the key and the smart controller that are speaking. CAN is a communication protocol for serial languages, by the way. And over here we have the CAN1 network. This is a critical infrastructure, and this is where we want to get in. Over here you have the back interface, the driving interface, the motor interface, and a front interface. And it is basically how the car works. It is the speed is stored here, the angle of the steering wheel, the brakes, lights, everything is stored here. And there was also a Bluetooth connection, but that's also not really accessible. But so because the project was not 100% finished, we could not do the full attack. But there is a theoretical attack possible. This would start by getting into the Raspberry Pi and then via a serial connection taking over the Arduino and sending commands from the Arduino to the CAN2 interface to the central controller and then finally to the targets and change the values. Since this was not fully possible, since the Arduino wasn't properly working, we had to do a physical attack, and we connected our Raspberry Pi once we were in to the CAN1 interface to see what we would be able to do and how we could damage the system. So I think now Daigo is going to take over.
All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit more about what methodologies we used to get in and how we actually performed the attack. So for methodologies, we first looked at the OWASP top 10 itself, so like default credentials or weak and hard and guessable passwords. Then if that wouldn't work, we would use brute forcing and fuzzing to get in. Also, if you were in, fuzzing itself would be very viable because you could overload the network itself. Because the key fob itself is RFID. RFID, you can clone. This RFID tag you could clone as well. It's the same frequency as a normal NFC tag. And sniffing would also be viable, but because this is a total open source vehicle, you wouldn't really have the need to sniff anything because everything is already accessible. For the attack itself, we exploited CAN1, or we could exploit CAN1. And if we succeeded, we could do anything from changing the steering wheel, the target values, the brakes itself, so tricking the vehicle into thinking that it's driving in the wrong direction or that its brakes are active or whatever. A denial of service attack on a vehicle on a critical network itself is pretty dangerous also. A denial of service would mean that the system itself wouldn't be able to communicate anymore. So the brakes wouldn't be able to communicate with the central system or the lights or whatever, causing a crash most likely. On the CAN2 network, we had a theoretical attack because the CAN2 network was also had also some interesting functions like the breathalyzer and LiDAR. With an exploit on the CAN2 network, we would be able to fake the driver being drunk and causing the car to totally stop and stop functioning. I'm now going to show you two videos. The first one is our advanced hacking technique to get in on the top. Here you see it. And that was it. It was advanced hacking. So getting in was just over SSH, and default credentials were still there. So that's the first thing we tried, and we got in. That's why a Raspberry Pi is pretty much overkill for a car like this. And the second video on the bottom is the fuzzing that we did on the light system. Yeah, so that really breaks everything. And if you leave the fuzzing on, it causes a total overflow attack and denial of service as a result. All right, now we will discuss the mitigations of our attack. Here you go.
Thank you. So speaking of mitigations and how to defend the system against such attacks, we tried to think about how we could prevent the ways we were accessing the device. So the first way we could mitigate such attacks is to make the RFID key more secure. More specifically, try to encrypt the key stored within the RFID device, and also maybe try to make it 2FA, two-factor authentication, so that we couldn't do anything really with a flashed NFC tag. Second mitigation technique would be to make an actual heartbeat on the CAN network. So since you cannot see if there is an additional node, a malicious node, trying to communicate with your own nodes on the CAN network, you can try to have a system that sends a heartbeat message to make sure that the system isn't compromised. So this goes with a frequency-based messaging system, which has been shown in the reference we show on the bottom. Basically, the system is that you can, since you can see when you are receiving messages, you can study the frequency of the messages. If you are receiving messages too frequently, that means that someone or something else is speaking on the network, which most often means that you have an additional node, which potentially could be malicious. Eventually, we try to think about a system to recognize if you have a physical node on the network. Unfortunately, that kind of mitigation defense couldn't work on high-speed CAN network. However, it could work on slow-speed CAN network. So in terms of impact and outlook, well, basically, such system consisting of only a CAN network is already hard to attack because everything is kind of isolated from any remote access. Still, if you try to make it more complex, like having autonomous capabilities on your car, you have to make the system more complex and maybe introduce more vulnerabilities. So that would be something to care about. Also, well, as we mentioned about the RFID keys, it may need to be more secure because currently we couldn't flash the RFID key with our NFC chip on our phones. But if we bought some kind of NFC tag, like maybe 15 to 20 euros, we could potentially copy the key and have access to the car. And lastly, well, as Victor mentioned, Raspberry Pis are a bit too powerful for what the OSV is trying to achieve. So maybe try to find a more suitable target for performing the computation. So that's it for our project. If you have any question or remark regarding how you would have accessed the car and device, would be appreciated. Thank you.
Awesome presentation. Thank you very much. Are there any questions in the audience? As always, I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
And this is, so what are your takeaways from doing this? So are there 2 recommendations you would have to the OSV for preventing such things from happening in the future?
Well, firstly, I believe having any kind of remote access to the car itself introduces vulnerabilities, which is why we were stuck at the door in the first place with the non-working screen interface. Well, still, you said about Bluetooth maybe?
What?
The Bluetooth device and...
Well, mainly the Raspberries are too powerful and can actually be used against your own device because there were even some hacking tools. The tools that we used for hacking were already downloaded on the Raspberry, so we didn't even need to do that much. So I'm not a huge fan of the Raspberries. Also, the SSH port was open, which is basically just giving an entry point and letting them start, which shouldn't be able to happen. And also the RFID should have can be better encrypted, but of course it's a prototype. But a better RFID, as said, is needed.
Yeah, and also just a tamper-proof CAN network that if someone is tampering with the network itself, that it could be just stopped completely is also pretty handy.
Okay.
However, overall the system is actually pretty secure with the isolated CAN network. That already makes it quite hard to have any kind of access. Still, the physical attack we've done wouldn't be quite possible because accessing the CAN network itself is like very hard in the car. But if you had access, since you already know the messages that transit through the network, that would make it quite dangerous actually.
Okay, yeah, so drunk driving via machine learning. Okay, thank you very much for this great presentation. The jury is already done, I guess, with their stuff, and I would ask does the remote challenge setup now work? It does not. Okay, then we will continue with challenge number 6, which was the live processing of real-time data and also analytics. And we have Eva, Baptiste, Sylvain, and Abdelhamid. who will present this challenge. Here we have them, and the next 9 minutes are yours.
Thanks. Our project was to do live data analysis on processing. So the idea was during the live stream that is happening right now, to when some keyword are pronounced, to send post on social media with a link to this live stream, and with the keyword on a little sentence to make people want to come to the live stream and join. So our project was like a mix of different things. There are some part of IoT because everything like it's a network, like we have the microphone connected to a computer that stream everything with the cameras, and on another computer has to listen to the live stream to extract the audio and do all the computation and send them to send a post on a social network. We have a lot of data because there is hours of live stream. We have like machine learning to recognize the word and find the one that we want to use, and we have like data analysis also. So what are the clear goal of this project? The goal is to create engagement by processing in real time Keynote live stream to make content for social media. There are some kind of similar things with virtual smart assistant, like OK Google, Say Siri, or Cortana, where when they listen to some keyword, they will do some action. Some of the drawbacks of own methods was that like the context could be more noisy. Like for example, before when last introduced some people were uploading, so like it can create artifacts or noise that make it more hard to listen. We want more keyword, not just like OK Google, but like a lot of keyword like security, IoT, hardware, software. There will be more than one speaker, and every speaker can have an accent, so like it can be harder to find like to fine tune it to be the best way to detect the word. And it's an indirect approach, like contrary to like the smart assistant. It don't listen to people directly, but it listens to a live stream in which people are talking to an audience through a microphone. And why would you want to use this tool? Because like it could attract new viewer. Now because of COVID, it could be a great way to make people come to a live stream, to listen online, to interact at the end, to ask questions. So in this era, it can be really relevant.
Okay, thank you. No, we have we can split this project to 3 steps. The first challenges is to the data extraction. The second one is the machine learning and the data processing. And the third is the picture editing and social media posting. As we can see here in the pipeline, we have the data extraction, which done by me. We have the live stream. We first cut the video every 13 seconds. Then the extract audio and the screenshot using YouTube DL tool and FFmpeg. Then we pass it to the machine learning step, where we use two solutions. The first one with the AWS toolkit, and the second one with NLTK and the Wave2Vec model, the pre-model with the Facebook pre-trained model. Here we do the speech recognition and the keyword extraction and identification, using this keyword and the picture as the input to publishing in social media and posting like Twitter using the Twitter API.
Okay, thank you. In this slide, I will talk about the detail of our implementation. The last slide presents the methodological pipeline of our work. And so we have based our implementation on 3 steps. The first steps consist to use the library, the framework, and Neltica. And the second step consists of using Amazon Transcribe and Amazon Comprehend to process the audio file. And the last step consists of using IBM Watson library to evaluate. Our objective or manager was to compare, to have just a small comparison, but using different method. So here in this slide, in this two figure, we have in axis the keyword from a live stream that we have extract audio and process by machine learning. So in the first, I think in the first we have the result obtained using the Neltica library and the Facebook pre-trained model. And the second one is the AWS Amazon Comprehend service. The real difficulty that we have you have seen when evaluating the two methods is that using the fine-tuned Facebook model, we see that we extract the keyword like AWS, Amazon Comprehend, but the context of the live stream is not taken in account. Why take in account? Because we have to fine-tune this model to have good result depending on the topics that we are working with. And using AWS Amazon service, we can see that the length of the word are very big, so that Amazon model take in account the text and comprehend the text and take in account syntaxes and they fill and if this has a scientific is in IoT or another subjects, it take in account the subjects that contain in audio file. After this, we can show that in our process we are able to process all the audio file and the video and post it in a Twitter. We have, for example, an account Twitter that we have created, and then process our video and send it to Twitter. For image, so we are able to send just a link. Because to send a video or to send an image in Twitter, we have to Twitter impose that we have an elevated account, so that we can process them to evaluate or to do something using Twitter API to process it. We have to create an account or to give more information about something that we want to process is imposed by Twitter. Okay, in this last slide, just want to give some key that we can improve our work. Firstly, to process an video file in real time is very difficult because we don't have the total duration of the work that the signal that we are processing. So many methods are proposed, but is still difficult because we can have some overlap when processing, or the audio, or the audio file or the video that we are extracting time by time can be split, and then it's possible that we have a high probability to the system cannot comprehend the context and the subject that we are talking in the video. That is the real difficulty. And another difficulty, another way to improve the work consists to fine-tune the YouTube model that and the YouTube Facebook pre-trained model that we have used. Thank you for your attention.
All right. Thank you very much. And if I have understood it correctly, this thing is already working, and you can just put it to any YouTube live stream.
Actually, we have a problem with the FFmpeg. It's like what we explain here in this part. We use the FFmpeg tool. That tool is open source tool, but it works only for some version, some distribution of Linux. It's not work for all. This is the first problem. And the other problem here, to publish any picture, we need a professional Twitter API. This is the problem. Well, now we can only publish a URL and keywords.
Okay, yeah. Very interesting work you did. Are there any questions from the audience? I guess not. Then thank you very much one more time to Amit. Okay, then we have the next. You probably need the cable. Where is it? Here we go. Cycle. So the battery powered scooter or electrical bike, and yeah, so I will hand you over the microphone. Do you want to stand over there?
Yeah, I think it's
okay. Then the next 9 minutes are yours.
Yeah, so thank you. So I'm Alice, and I work with Leila, but Leila couldn't be here today, and she is not here online. So I have a little record, so I think it's work. I hope. No. Ah, yeah.
Bottom right, and then change from HDMI to internet speaker. Petit peu plus à droite. Là, tu parles français.
Oui.
Oui. Oui. Oh, oui. Ah, ouais.
Ok.
Ah, non, il faut pas regarder en faut cliquer ça. Yes.
Okay.
And you're up.
Ah, I'm not sure about sound, so. No, the sound is here.
I'll put the microphone there, maybe this helps.
I just test. Yeah, okay. So.
Once upon a time, in the not so dark Rent City, a tricycle dreamt of being a Batmobile. So it went to Marvin's garage, the place where all the objects with identity crisis go to get geared up. After a long procedure, Marvin successfully transplanted a Batmobile chassis, an engine with significant amount of horsepower, and a decapotable ceiling. Also Batwing doors. But the procedure didn't go exactly as planned. Although the bicycle now looks like a Batmobile, it is basically blind. It has no eyes. Sure, it can still park in a disabled parking space, but it has to get there first. And that is our mission, should we choose to accept it. Spoiler alert, we did accept it. Our mission is to provide it with bat vision. Now that technically translates into providing it with a system that picks up danger related to front and back collision. The system will have to detect objects in the front and the back, pick up the current speed, compute the level of danger according to which it will display a warning. To design and implement the system, we relied on the programming and simulation platform gratefully provided to us by Vita Science, check them out, and we wrote our code in Scratch and tested it with Arduino simulator. For the sensors, we used a light detection sensor, a LiDAR, and a tachometer, which measures the rotation speed of an object. And, well, now I will give the floor to Alice. She will demonstrate to you the groundbreaking result we have achieved. On n'est pas à l'abri d'un Nobel.
So, now to achieve this challenge, so this challenge is here, and so to achieve this, we decided to use LiDAR. So the LiDAR work as eyes for back cycle. So this sensor give us the possibility to evaluate the distance between the bicycle and another vehicle, or for example a person. So this is we have this sensor for distance, and we have another sensor that it's called tachometer or odometer. So this sensor count the number of wheel spin, and with this information we can compute the speed of the bicycle. So with the distance and the speed, we can have some information about the bicycle, and with a little compute so it's a little compute and easy way to create a code with block that we use Vitations to compute our code, and so we compute different degree of danger. So, for example, we decided that for 1 meter or 2 meters, for example, if we have just 2 meters between the bicycle and another vehicle, it's very dangerous. So we can display on a little screen an information for the user that it's very dangerous and you have to be careful. So this is the achieved results. I hope it's work. Okay. So I just show you the video and then I explain. C'est bon. Okay. So on this video you can see at the first time the little lidar in front of the bicycle, and next you can see the bicycle, and at the end you can see so a boxes when we put our material, and so you can see the screen and you can see the Arduino shield that Leila spoke before, and we have put a lidar in the back, or because we can have information about in front and in back, and information for the back is very important for the user, because the user don't see the vehicle behind him. So when everything is good and when the user is in a good position and no danger, the little screen display the speed and the distance in meter. Oh no, in centimeter, sorry. And we have a little smile to say that it's good, nothing could be happen. And so the second video. So when someone pass in front of the bicycle. Oh là là, mais c'est fou. So the screen change, and we have this information. Be careful in front, and a little icon to represent death and danger. So to conclude with impact and outlook, so the bicycle is now relatively safe to use and ready to be part of IoT. In fact, to imagine some connected vehicle for IoT, for example, we have to we need information to exchange, and so in this bicycle, at the beginning we have no information to exchange, and now we have information about distance and speed. So the next step is imagine 360-degree detection of object. So we can just add 2 lidar to detect other objects in right or left. And we can imagine too 5G connectivity to run nearby connected vehicle, and inform that, for example, the vehicle in the back are too close to the bicycle. So thank you for your attention, and if you have a question, okay.
Awesome talk. Very interesting touch. In particular, good job with the remote experience. So, are there any questions from the audience? None. One from my side. was there anything that surprised you in the process, or was it extremely difficult or easy to well, implement this challenge?
So for my part, I think the most difficult is not that Leila is online, because we have a good feeling and we are okay from everything, so it's very good. But I think the most difficult is to choose what we do, because we have a lot of possibilities, and it's very difficult to choose. So okay, we just stop and go implement it, and it's because we have a lot of possibilities, a lot of sensors. So yeah.
Okay, but very well done. So one more time, one applause for Elise and Leila, remote. And this concludes our presentations. So the jury will now have a few minutes. I guess they will meet upstairs and discuss what they have decided, and they will be back in roughly probably 10 to 15 minutes, and then we will know who the winner is of the challenges. So yeah, see you.
Yeah, so big thanks also to Lars for the
I will first of all introduce the process mining technology, where we take data from underlying IT systems or customer relations management systems, so any system where we collect data, and we will connect them with the Celonis software, where we can first of all reconstruct how processes are run in the real world, in the businesses. Then we can analyze and find bottlenecks in the process. And finally, we want to find improvement potentials in order to make the process more efficient and smarter, more effective, more sustainable. Upload the data, analyze the data, and in the end also find business value in the delivery process. In the hands-on challenge, you will all get your individual access, your individual license of the academic edition of the Celonis execution.
Leila, can you hear me? Try to check. Leila. Did she ever see you? Did she also see your beautiful eyes?
Come back, is the stream running? Okay, perfect, good. So, yeah, let's start with the first point, which is here. I'm on which port now? On the 2. Is this static image, or where is it coming from? Ah, it's from me. Okay, perfect. Good.
Do you have audio?
No.
Do you have audio?
No. So we'll start with Laurent, who did a fabulous job. So maybe switch to the handycam, and I can please film this. He did a wonderful job, because I approached him just 2 days ago, I guess, or was it even yesterday, and told him it would be great if we have a great prize for the winners. And he created something that is really fabulous. If Lars switches to the OBS Ninja, where the camera is included, then you can also see it. Can you switch to the OBS Ninja? Ah, perfect, thanks. And so this is really a wonderful piece of art, and so he has to leave in minus 10 minutes, and therefore it will be, and I asked him if he could briefly describe a little bit something about that, and before that, really give him a warm and big applause for this great trophy.
Microphone too. Thank you, and I take the opportunity to speak about what it is. It's just an object, and maybe in life you need objects.
Shall I connect the computer in the meantime?
Okay, if you want, yeah, cool. It will be nice. It will be nice to see how to construct this kind of object. Firstly, you have to control the machine, because if you make it by hand, it's not the wrong way to have a very nice and professional product. So you take a picture, and maybe I can show you the design. It's work or not? Maybe not. Okay. Switch. Who is the switcher? Okay.
Can you switch to the laptop? If
Switch
the
on the
is sending
laptop.
something?
Okay. Okay. In fact, the design of the logo was already done. So what we have to do is to translate the ID of to be compatible with the machines, and I can make it longer and longer. But if you switch quite soon, it's better for you. All right.
Is the video working or not? Do you
No
have to
input.
enable something?
Okay. It's P. Projeter, votre ordinateur ne peut pas utiliser un autre écran. What is the fucking what the fuck? Okay. Okay. So Windows P, and votre PC ne peut pas utiliser un autre écran. Bon, okay. Maybe I won't be very long, so I can show you if you got nice eyes. Anyway, so the yes, that's cool. Switching guy. Lars. But no, thank you. Yes. Okay, you can see software. Yay! Woo! Thank you.
Very good.
So, and the software is Inkscape. Yes, sir. So maybe you know Inkscape. I hope you do. It's the files are XML. I just said that for geek people. And if you don't know how to play with Inkscape, what is it? It's a MOOC. And EMT has a MOOC this year, and it's about modelization in 2D with Inkscape. So you can learn the software very easily. Okay. Yeah, because it's difficult to. Your battery is low. Switching. Okay. And Mob asked me to make some thing like that. So this one, okay. So it's
keyring.
Okay, this is that's cool. He asked me for 40 thing like that. I didn't have time, so you don't have it, but you have the file. We can. I give you the file, and you can make it in a lab fab. You know lab fabs? Yeah, that's cool. And so you just have to take the file and make it, or ask me, and I will send. No, I won't send you because it costs something. But anyway, this is a commercial for SVG and vector files,
And
it's very useful.
maybe say something about the production process. So it's what is plexiglass, and you put a
Yeah,
laser
it's-
cutter, or what did you do?
Yeah, it's plexiglass, and it's everything is engraved and cutted with laser cut. So laser cut is cool just because you will see the perfect definition of the design on the material. And it was very very speedy. So
show the shadow.
Oh yeah, there is a shadow, and there is it's. Yeah, here it's cutted, and it's very well done by the machine, not by me. And in fact, you know what it's cardboard, and this cardboard was before I work at not EMT, UBL. It was a very big school, university. And nowadays is dead. So I took everything who should go on in garbage. I took it, and this is the cardboard. So the cardboard is very well done. It's very cute cardboard, but it's recycled. Think about recycling great materials all over you. Okay, that's it. I think I told.
Perfect. So a
Thank
very,
you.
very warm applause.
Thank
and,
you.
As you have to leave, I will give you your certificate next week. Yeah, so thank you very much. And so who has to leave in 11 minutes and 13 seconds? So please come to the stage, because then I will give you your certificates first, and we'll make the photo with you, and then we'll continue with the program. Okay, good. Then we have to dynamically switch everything. Good. So then Lars just put my image as background, and then we just give you the certificates, and Christian make the photo with you.
Yes, we switch, yes. Did you use it or not? Yeah, we can then, but later. Yeah, in a few seconds. Okay.
Okay, so great applause for the guys. Okay.
Yeah, just look all to the camera. Okay.
Good. And all right. And then, as Fabian also has the Siemens challenge, let's also do that now, as the winners are among the ones on the stage. First of all, you need the microphone.
So thanks. Yeah, again, thanks a lot for your passion, for your work over the last 5 days, and especially inside our cybersecurity competition of Siemens. And we would like to award, again, all 3 teams. So we already know who won, but please, can you share my screen? Yeah. So perhaps we can start with the 3rd place, the 3rd prize. So who was in? Julio? Yeah, please open it. So Ivan, Juan, and Julius, please came to the stage. The problem is we set up really spontaneously now some prizes, so means your 3 prize will be not the same for everybody, but hopefully you also enjoy it. You will also get some certificates. You see it there. I'm in the preparing phase at the moment, but I will send it to you via mail, so that you can print it, or you can also use it for your digital documents if you, for example, apply for wherever, whatever. Okay, so perfect. Next slide. Yeah, and one further. Perfect. So now here we have also the background image, and now we will come to one of the prize. It's like a mini box, or for your room, so you can you can also connect them. but they should be good. And wait a second, and then. Yeah. Sorry, what you would like to switch? Can you switch to the mobile cam? Perfect. And so you see here we have every time 3 times the same, and now we have a little bit of problem because now I have 3 different prizes, so you should talk maybe afterwards. On one side we have a key finder. Is somebody from you who every time is looking for the key at home? So yes, we have here. Then we have a power bank. You already have a power bank? You have? Take it. And last but not least, here you have something for your breakfast in the morning. If you would like to take it to the work, you can put the fruits here inside, and the other stuff, which is more dry there, also the milk and so on. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks a lot again, and yeah, a big applause, please. So, and now we will come to the next place, the 2nd one. And maybe you can go again to the slides, because you can see here, no, one back, please. Back. Yeah, back. Again back? No, between 2nd and 3rd prize. There is nothing between 2nd and 3rd. There, it was there. Yeah, stop. Perfect. Because Ahmed and Abdelhamid won the 2nd prize, and you see really they had such kind of a sprint and a push in their challenge. They increased or reached from, I think it was not the last place, but the last position, but they went really fast to the 2nd one. And now I would like also to thank you. Big applause, please. So, and for you, we will have now the same prizes. So you will get a certificate, of course, also, but you will have, or you get also such kind of a bag with some goodies inside. Also, these boxes are in, and the key finder. Oh no, not the boxes. No, I had to change a little bit. And but also the power bank. And last but not least, you will also get such kind of a gold medal. The mobile camera, please. Lars. Yeah, and you can see it here. I think it's cool. So I don't know the price of it. So if you sell it tomorrow at eBay. Okay, then thanks a lot. And next applause, please. And last but not least, now we have our PhDs from the University of Leuven. So please, next slide. Again. And you see with 41,000 points or score. They really outperformed this challenge. So please come on the stage, Victor and Dairo. So, and now here we have now the full package with the boxes, key finder, and also the power bank. And, you're welcome. And of course also the gold medal for the first prize. And you will get a certificate where then written also that you've won this challenge. Okay, please, big applause for these two guys. And hopefully you also enjoyed. Wait a second, maybe you can go to my slides again. And go to the last slide. And now you can take another picture with the background. What's going on? No, last slide. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Good. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. So the best challenge winner for the... Could you switch to my laptop again? Thanks. Okay, perfect. Good. So, do you know where my remote is? Oh, yeah, it's here. Good. So, there we have the challenge award. We had the jury, so Lars was already presenting. So we had Marvin, we had Laurent, we had Nicolas, we had Fabian, and we had me. It was very difficult because actually all presentations were really, really, really good. So it was really impressive. And all teams were almost at the same score. But of course we had to decide for something. You've seen it took quite a while to get the results because the discussion was very difficult. And so therefore you're all winners, but the ones that we finally selected are the following. So C5, the open source vehicle challenge. So please, Dairo and Alexis and Victor, please come to the stage. So therefore, if I would not have found the other one, at least you would have gotten one. This is yours, I guess. This is yours. And this is yours. Congratulations, and yeah, as Laurent was already presenting it, so this is the award, and yeah, it even has a nice bottom that you can unfold, and if you want to transport it, it makes sense that you bring just a sheet of paper from the program with you, and then you can fold it within so that it doesn't get scratches. So here, one for you. One for you. And one for you. Great, and then also let's make a photo and a big applause. Let's just wait a second because I have the right background, which is this one here. Good. Yeah. Perfect. So thanks again. Have a safe travel home. You have 10 seconds, so we're right in time. And for the others, we will continue with the program where we've been because we still have some highlights in the presentation, even though we a little bit hijacked the order now. So, yeah. So some more words about that. So we'll really share the file for you, and then if you have access to a Fab Lab, then you can produce this yourself. And it's really cool, so if you want to see it, the single and only prototype is laying around here All right. So, the good thing is not so many people are here anymore. So that means it will be shorter with the procedure for this. So, I'm running this event for the 4th time, and the core crew of the event is almost the same from the beginning, and there are lots of people that play an important role in implementing this. And so for the first group picture, I would like to ask to come on stage Laurent, who's not here anymore, so the one who created these things, Sandrine, Sebastian, the co-organizer also, but he's also not here, Christian, Akin, Lars, Olivia. You can just fix a screen image, maybe make the screen full screen and then keep it like that. It's so not the screen, but like the camera showing the stage. Nicolas is not here anymore, I guess. Fabian, me, Laurent, is he still here? Yes? Okay. Yeah, perfect, thanks. And let me just, where did I put it? Because exactly. So yeah, before we come to the certificates, you probably wonder why Laurent is having changed his outfit a little bit. And the reason is that from today on, he's Chevalier dans l'Ordre des Palmes Académiques, which is a very big honor to get when you are very active in teaching. This is what I understood, right? And he got that for his outstanding works in teaching, and therefore also a big applause for him for that. And besides that, I thought I'll just let the people themselves present briefly the major things they did at this school, and over to you, because then I don't have the responsibility of having forgotten something, but I can still add things.
Perfect, thank you, Marc-Oliver. So you might have noticed me running around with the camera, so that's one of the main tasks to capture the moments behind the tribune. So to capture a bit what you're doing also within the challenges. So I will also later on show some results of that. And besides that, I'm also participating in the video streaming and so on. Sandrine?
Oui, qu'est-ce qu'il faut que je dise? Alors moi, mon rôle, ça a été toute l'organisation. De quoi? Ah non, pas en English. Voilà, j'ai fait en sorte que tout le monde soit bien logé, mange bien, passe de bons moments, et voilà. Et j'espère que ça vous a plu.
Thank you. So I'm very surprised to be here because I did nothing for the school. I just proposed a challenge, and that's all.
And I needed very good tutoring for that.
You maybe remember me. I was moderating the questions, as well as also, like in the morning's prayers, we were making Wordclouds about yesterday.
So like Laurent, I brought in my Siemens colleagues to set up challenges for you and also this kind of Siemens cybersecurity competition and of course also the talks. And last but not least, I organized these wonderful presents from Siemens. So that's all from my side. Thanks.
Hello, so I am the web chair. I do social media, mailings, and also on-site organization for the school. Thank you.
Hi, so I caused mainly delays because of these technical issues. So I was trying to set up the stream and doing production
You
and
also
stuff.
resolved the technical problems.
Right, yes. And then I also did this one challenge, challenge 6 with the real-time data analytics, which I'm quite sad that didn't win. So, but yeah, that was my task.
Yeah, and so maybe let's, maybe I saved you more words. So you have been seeing some people in the front end and some people in the back end. So Sandrine was definitely more visible in the back end, but without her it would have been impossible. So really big thanks to that. Christian did multiple things, especially also the photos. So this one you will also see afterwards. We'll distribute them, and then Laurent was doing a great job with the challenges and also is accompanying the event from the beginning, which is very good and valuable. Akin, you heard him moderating, managing the Zoom, among the most prominent things. With Fabian is also that we're doing this since 2 years, I guess, in very close collaboration, and next year maybe also again, and so it's always a pleasure to exchange. Olivia did also tons of things. The most visible thing for you were the t-shirts and also the social media when you followed and so on. And Lars was doing all the stuff that led to the nice videos that we have recorded now and that you can afterwards watch. Akin was also doing part of that for the YouTube stream yesterday and so on. And so big thanks to all of you. Big applause again for you. Good. Thanks. Okay, and then from the challenges, I have names. I don't know the faces to it, so I have Alexandre Fröhlich. If you're still with us, you're welcome on stage. Tom Connier, Papa Jibil, Florian Guillon. Okay, so these were those. Okay. Good. Then we come to the certificates for the participants. Okay. So in those are just in some random order, so they are not prioritized. So Christian and Lars, you are in the first batch. Leila is remote. Silva, okay. And Juan, is Juan still there? Could you come to stage, all of you, because then we make a quick photo and a warm applause. Lars also, you also. Okay, then maybe let's go to the middle. And then warm applause to our four. Very good. You are done? Perfect. Good. Then the next ones are Alexis, Alice, Julius, Markus, So Marcus already left, or is he still there? So he left. Okay. Good. Then we just make a photo with the 3. Good. Great. All right. Then these were the certificates. And so we have 2 more highlights. And the first one
I guess with all these certificates going on and thinking on, we forgot a major important person than the guys running this, the big boss running this show. And so I guess all of you just give it up for Marc-Oliver as a big thank you, because without him he's not possible, and he's putting in countless hours. I guess tracking it would be, then the custom service would come after you because you work too much. But I guess as appreciation, at least you should take a winner trophy, because so you make all of this possible. So thank you from all of us for running this show. And now I guess we can continue with our program.
Thank you very much. So, good. Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, it's always a lot of work, but it's always a lot of pleasure for me when I see that it executes in an okay way. You have to pull this. Perfect. Okay, and so now we have 2 more program items, if I'm not wrong. And so the first one is impressions with Christian. So as we just heard, Christian was taking lots of photos, and I asked him to make a collection of these highlights of the week. And he will show this to us now, and then afterwards Erkin will show us the mind maps that he created with you over the impressions over the days.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, as already advertised, we come to some highlights of of this summer school, PhD school. Sorry. Which is first our room where we meet together. We heard lots of interesting keynotes in here, and well, what it's all about? It's all about you. You make it special. So congratulations that you performed so cool tasks within the challenges, and you will especially see that also in the pictures. Well, I sorted it time-wise, so these were parts where you were not already here, so we also had to set up the stuff. You can see Marc-Oliver, Erkin, and Lars preparing some video stuff. We have the already prepared room here, and then we move on to Monday, where we had all of these interesting PhD presentations. So all of you did a great job there, presenting their PhD topic. Continuing with the Celonis challenge in the afternoon, where you were able to use their tools and perform some cool tasks prepared by or presented by Josephine. Then we come to Tuesday, so there I have just pictures from our social event. I guess you might, will remember the sites we saw at Rennes, the cathedral, the parliament, the old houses within the ancient city of Rennes. Then we have Wednesday, where you actually started to work on your, where you actually started to work on your challenges. So you look all quite very busy and interested in your topics, and that was also shown in the results where you performed really cool tasks. Then we had Thursday, especially with the hacking night, the pizzas, and yeah, you still finishing up the challenges till, I guess, the last team left at 11 o'clock, so you were quite motivated there. And yeah, thank you. Thank you for this great PhD school, and I think this applause also goes to you who make it special. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Christian. That was great impressions. And then I would hand over to Erkin. Yeah, but there should be two on the stage, actually.
Okay, so let's take a look at the polls we had. This one goes here. Make it full screen. So, in one word, how would you describe day one? These were the. This is the result, according to you. This is what we get for the second day, and this is what we get for the third day. Besides, I also have one more statistics that might be interesting. In this one, we can also see the word cloud for the questions asked by the audience. It looks like this. Let me maybe zoom in. Yeah, so we had, of course, a lot of questions regarding digital twin, but besides this, yeah, Celonis, Siemens, companies, blockchain, communication, outdated components, Oniro, what else? Factories, cost savings, cars, and so on. So this is the cloud, like the all accumulation of the questions asked by the audience. That's it. Thank you.
All right, and yeah, as one says, all good things at one point in time come to an end. We're a little bit later in the schedule today, sorry for that. And yeah, my computer is not connected anymore. Just 1 second. All right, good. Yeah, that was one too much. Which ones? Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So all of you who are still here, we also have a group photo for you. Olivia prepared that today, but we forgot it, unluckily. So that means please come over afterwards, and then we'll hand over these photos to you. And so I have no clue where the presentation went, actually. Here, okay, it's just folded away. Okay, good. But it was anyways only this last slide. So thank you very much for participating. As Christian said it, you made the event special. Please come over to get the photo, and then you have another take home. Have a safe travel home, and we hope to see you again in the future in working together in research or in a future event. Please share the info about the event with your friends and future PhD candidates so that they can participate in one of the future editions. We'll definitely run it again in the next year because it's a yearly event, then with a different topic. You're always welcome, and yeah, thanks a lot. Have a safe travel, and see you soon. Bye-bye.